or Louis King, right? Louis
Yes,
King.
sir.
I
That's
appreciate you coming out here to be interviewed tonight. First off, just tell me really quick, how are you feeling tonight?
feeling good, man. Just, it's a beautiful day and you know, I think happy to be here. You feel me? How about yourself?
Yeah. I heard that you were earlier today on what was it, a podcast with what was it? You were talking about a new single you were working on with 88 miles per hour, right?
Exactly, yeah. It was weird with Gala Music and which is a Web3 blockchain technology company that is like a music company on the blockchain. And so it was the debut of the Web3 debut of that song. And yeah, it was cool. There was a space and, you know, played Two Truths and a Lie, I guess, something like that.
Oh yeah, I heard it. I heard that at the end too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, thanks for stopping through, bro.
Of course, yeah. Um, Also, I was looking through your discography, and I really like some of your tracks. I noticed you're pretty much all over the place. Like, you started out doing more like traditional hip hop, and then you kind of you went into sort of more like a soul feel, and then I saw you were doing more. Let me see. You were doing more like modern music before switching into like a pop vibe. Do you want to like tell me sort of like the progression of your style and like how did you get into like making hip hop in the first place?
hmm I think it just hip hop just always been like a place that I've had to express myself. And I'm a African drummer. Like my first trade, my dad is an African drummer from Nigeria. So my family, like we we make music, you know what I mean? And I guess I was the first generation, on my dad's side in America. So like hip hop was kind of my own understanding of I guess, what I was experiencing and navigating. And uh, I grew up listening to like playing traditional African, like chants and drums, percussions. And then it got into more because grew up in LA, like Dr. Dre, like Snoop and Tupac stuff. And I was like late about on that too. You know what I mean? Like I didn't necessarily, yeah, like I was late, uh, but for me, like I mean, I think I probably got some Dr. Dre CD in like fifth grade. So it wasn't like late for, you know what I mean, for me, but
Yeah.
for like that's like if you like got like on some future shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you listen
Oh
to
yeah.
Sprite and it was like it came out a while ago, but like you got on that when you was like, you know what I mean, type shit. So
Yeah. For me, like I'm really getting late into this because like my music taste has really been expanding recently. So it's really inspiring to see like you with all your projects and like how you're working with these people like 88 miles per hour, them helping you with your production, right? And I thought it was really cool how you guys are like merging EDM and like hip hop as well.
mhm.
Um, in your opinion, like how do you think hip hop as a genre has like made an impact on like the current state of the world, like just like in general, you know?
Oh, I
Because like I
think
know you're a part of that, but like, what like your contribution and like what do you think this whole thing is about, you know?
a 100. I mean, I think that's a great, especially like you being in school and even having a hip hop class, like that says so much, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to not just music relations and hip hop, but race relations and acceptability and what's the social norm and what is considered art and what representation we have in universities. So I would say, and I was just having this conversation, like I would say hip hop, and I don't mean this in any derogatory or like challenging way to politicians or you know what I mean, like anything like that. But I would absolutely say that hip hop has probably done more for race relations in America than politics, right? Because
Oh yeah.
hip hop, right? Politics is like about policies, you know what I mean? And like administering, these these ideas, right? But like music, right, is like reaching the youth. So when there were a bunch of people who was like, you know, these people are not people or whatever it is, right? Hip hop has always found a way, especially with the internet, to reach people. And when that happened, the children, and I'm gonna just be 100, like the children of racist people, they couldn't protect their children from seeing the world and seeing the truth and maybe thinking, man, I like Playboy Cardi. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but I like this. Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's like I would say like that in itself, I went to the White House and had lunch with Obama, you know what I'm saying? Like in when he was in the office, you know what I'm saying? And I would say on another level, on the other side of that, right? You got you got people like Obama who probably you could say the same thing don't exist without I don't want to say don't exist and not taking nothing away. Obama's like my like shout to Obama. I always, you know what I mean? It's so
Yeah.
incredible for me to meet him while he was in,
That's crazy. Yeah, wow.
but like I say that to say that like just like hip hop helped to shape me, right? I'm sure
Right.
based on what Barack Obama like based on just who he is, you know what I mean? That hip hop definitely helped to shape him as well, or at least the world to be ready for him. And even at the same time, turn it completely 360 around, no matter who rock with who politically. Donald Trump is using, you got Kodak Black and Lil Pump and all these people getting paid to to hip hop getting paid. Hip hop is what they know this is going to influence uh America and the world.
Right. Yeah.
So, man, I'd say hip hop has gonna come a long way. And for me personally, I think it's a tool, a very powerful tool, like we said, aim for the heart. And like Tupac say with this nonprofit I work with, Aim for the Heart, about emotional literacy is that you can teach emotional literacy. You could teach people how to manage their emotions, right? How to identify, assess, access their emotions. Um, but it's easiest to teach, right, the youth that through music, because
Mhm.
through music you're exchanging emotion just automatically, and it's cool to do it. It's not like sitting with your friend and telling them something that's vulnerable about you. It's like people actually embrace you for it. So yeah, man, I'd say hip hop and specifically in specific is has been a powerful tool for change around the world, you know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And one thing I really like about hip hop is that it's really grounded in truth and like spreading people's stories, maybe like the parts of society that are like overlooked or like like marginalized groups or people that are just fighting for their freedoms, right?
Right.
And this is how like hip hop started out being like very like all the people that were making these songs were telling their stories, but I feel like more recently there are artists who are getting into the genre just more for like the fame or just to make music, they're not really telling like necessarily their story. They're just sort of writing lyrics and saying what sounds good. What do you think about that? Like, do you think hip hop should be more inclusive or more of an exclusive genre?
I think I absolutely think hip hop should be. I don't think it should be anything. I think hip hop does what the fuck hip hop. I think it's hip hop to not take orders from no one. I think it's hip hop. So in that sense, I think it's hip hop to be like, while as an MC, I may feel I prefer this type or I prefer that or whatever it is, which I actually like a lot of different types of hip hop. But I would say personally, I think hip hop's got to be inclusive in the sense that dog, we were the ones left out. No one thought that we was gonna be a genre that was more than a trend. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
come from marginalized people that didn't get an opportunity. It's a real art form that a real black art form that come from, or you could say, I'm sure some people, black and Latin American, you know what I mean, Brooklyn, New York, like they got that, like, you know what I mean? Just and so, it's the spirit of hip hop for when I see, a white girl on TikTok rapping about, doing her laundry or some shit. Like to me, it's like, dog, I like that's hip hop because like who thinks they can give permission for someone, you know what I mean, to rap something? To me, it's
Yeah. I
this is
totally get what you're saying.
feel
Yeah.
me? Like it's like whether you like it or not, that's something else. But for me, I think that like the art form is meant to be shared and meant to be expressed. And why would you not want to share something with someone that could help someone? And the last thing I say about that is something I learned, you know what I mean? Not necessarily like that was said, but when I work with Earl Sweatshirt, you know what I mean? That's my guy, and traveled around the world with Tebe. And one thing like that I've seen is like and Tebe is very strong intellectual minded. I don't know if you listen to Earl Sweatshirt's music, but
I've heard listened to a bit of it, yeah.
yeah, like it's very much he's very much in tune and aware with what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And to say that and I would say a lot of people who listen to Earl Sweatshirt's music would consider themselves hip hop purists. You know what I mean? This is
Mm.
rappers, lyrics, you know what I mean? People who,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, alchemists, and it's in that the vein of like, you know what I mean, the hip hop that was passed down, storytelling. I say all that to say that like um, I think there is a space for everybody. Like I don't think everybody has to be that. I think that like the reason why that is so dope is that like there's not so many people that are good at that on that level of actually successful in hip hop and like young and like rapping about what they feel like that people can actually like connect with, right? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people doing rapping, you know what I mean? So I think it's necessary for there to be a Glorilla, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's
Yeah.
necessary for there to be a Lil Dicky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does that mean that it's like what I'm gonna do for him? I might be able to reach someone and they might get something from my music or just my presence or something, right? And that might be like something very, life changing for them or something. I would hope, you know what I mean? God bless, you know what I mean? But also, like, it might be someone else in the room that someone else in my crew they identify with that person's music more. You know what I mean? Or they just something about them. They're maybe they, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, maybe they come from the same place or they just got a similar story. That to me is where, like, hey man, like there's a lot of people that's gonna rock with Drake, man, like gonna identify with him. And there's a lot of people that's gonna rock with Kendrick. Like it don't never gotta be one or the other. Now, whether they like each other or what their own, you know, between them, what's going on between them and between individuals that know each other in hip hop, because right, you do this festival, I do the same festival, you do this BT backstage thing, I do this BET, you may cross paths with people more in the same industry, but regardless of it, like from abundance standpoint, look, man, there's enough people in the world to consume Bad Baby and to consume me. You know what I mean? And I believe that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's no reason to like hate on this. It's not hip hop. It's like, bro, it might be not what you like, but someone else like it, and it might bring them to something that's like you. So
Yeah.
who knows?
So, what do you think makes a great hip hop record then?
hmm To me, like authenticity, storytelling, I think is for hip hop. I what I enjoy. But I think, could it be, what's a great like radio record or a great party record or something like that too? Could be maybe different definition that I would say, but I would say just for a great record, like I don't really care about how successful the song did. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like how the song makes me feel. And I think that's one thing that a great hip hop record, it's gotta make you feel something.
Thank you, man. That's a great way to end it off. I mean, thank you so much for making the time to come out and get interviewed. It was really such a pleasure. Like I got to learn so much from you, man. And like for me, like I'm trying to be an aspiring musician. Like I don't have anything out yet, but just like getting to hear from another artist that's like already out there in the industry, it's really great, to learn from you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you thinking of me um and Una's a dope musician as well. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
got that person in your.
Yeah, I appreciate her hooking us up.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
man. Whenever you want to come through to a show on Friday nights, you know what I mean? Bring your girlfriend, bring Una, whoever.
oh yeah,
Um,
for sure. I'll look into it. Send me some details. I'm totally
yeah.
down.
And peace out.
Yeah. All right, see you. Take care. All
Take
right,
care.
bye-bye. Yeah.